Samir Prabhu,
Hare Krishna Babuji.
Danvat Pranam. Actually, I was thinking to talk to you. Maybe now is the time. Can you check with devotees where are we in our Bhakti Shastri? Who is pending with which all exams? When they can write? I was thinking recently, I was getting a thought we need to clean up little bit to have clarity, and then we need to exchange and check papers, Prabhu.
Okay, okay,
It's been because if too much time passes, we may lose the track.
okay, Babuji. Check. I think most of them. I'll check with who is pending. Hmm.
And we may need to spare 1 2 hours sometime to cross check papers, Prabhu, so that I think Bhagavad Gita, NOI, everything is pending.
Yeah. Oh, Bhagavad Gita is also pending, Babu.
Some of them is pending, yeah. I think only very initially first and second, but those who many wrote later on, Prabhu.
Okay, okay.
NOI assignment, NOI exam, and Bhagavad Gita, I think second and third. There is lot of cleanup required, kind of. It's in the air right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So papers, Babuji, are there with you, or it's like you
Well,
only?
um, I have many emails. I can check back on them, or devotees will have their own papers also
Okay, okay.
because they send. So that's why I was thinking before it becomes too late, we need
Hmm.
to streamline and we need to have a sheet that I
Yeah,
need to send to GBC for certificates.
yeah. So what we'll do, Prabhuji, is that I'm thinking of making one matrix for each devotee, and then Bhagavad Gita 1, Bhagavad Gita 2, and 3, and who has kept done, and who has got the marks, like and those
Yes.
who are not, then from we'll take it from there. No, so then we'll see how to get that evaluated, right?
Yeah, those who have not have they written the exam or it's pending, um, and then we need to make 1 or 2 calls and kind of speed up to finish and clean everything till NOD.
And Nodi.
At
Okay.
least in next month or so, if we can clean up everything and if devotees are good with all three, then in a clean way we can begin with Ishopanishad. अभी सब कुछ हवा में है प्रभु जी. Lot of things.
Prabhuji, but we completed till NOI, right? NOD will come after 6 months.
Yeah, NOI till NOI. Bhagavad Gita and NOI.
One more question. So Bhagavad Gita, actually three exams we had. So do we also have a one final exam or not required?
Well, it's not up to us. Let me check right now. I'll tell you.
Okay.
Let
Okay.
me check.
Okay.
I'll. For your exam is there, Bhagavad Gita.
Is it for final?
Mm. A lot of work will go.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, let us. I mean, I can. Uh, um, let's clean with. Let's clean up with all that we have already done,
Yeah,
and
better to first complete this NOI and NOD, and then because um, because Bhagavad Gita is way back, no, so 2 years back, no, so again then we have to revise everything, no.
well, I can assist so that without much reading, devotees can write exam.
Okay, okay.
I can share based on what all things we may want to focus on, so that within probably 2-3 days reading, devotee should be able to write exam. Let's let's not worry about it. Let's clean up our existing scenario.
Mhm.
And what do you think?
Yeah, so let's. I think the immediate one is NOI and NOD, right? So
NOI and Bhagavad Gita, yeah, three assignments.
yeah,
Okay, so let's begin directly.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहागणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरे, यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। Okay, so we are continuing on uh, the ninth verse. Um, it's a very nice verse. It Raghunath Das Goswami describes the six objects of meditation. Um, Now, is my voice breaking? Should I keep the video on? Should I turn it off? Or is it good for now?
Yeah, it is good, Prabhu.
It
That's
is
fine.
good. Okay. If it starts breaking, let me know. Then we'll try without video. Okay. Okay. So six objects of meditation. Okay. Um, let's see. Now the last word is smara manaha, which is my dear mind, please meditate. Um, so far we have discussed, Raghunath Das Goswami describes four kinds of enemies. Gross enemy of starting from Prajalpa, um, um, impersonal liberation, um, and continuing to lust, anger, envy, greed, pride, and then the propensity to cheat ourselves, and desire for fame. And the last verse, it described that if we take shelter of Krishna, Giridhari, and Govardhan, um, then even though I am a cheater, even though I am wicked, by the mercy of the Lord, He can drive away that wickedness from my heart, and He can awaken Ujjwal Premamrita or Shringhar Ras of love of Krishna. He can awaken that, and then by His mercy, He can introduce us to um, instruction on how to serve Srimati Radharani. When Krishna is pleased with us, then Krishna offers us to the service of Srimati Radharani. And that was the summary of verse number 8. Now, verse number 9, Raghunath Das Goswami is requesting us to meditate on six most important angas to cultivate um, devotion on the platform of rag, to cultivate devotional platform of spontaneous devotional service. Um, Now, the first line, it says Vraj Vipina Chandram. Chandra is moon, and Vipin, this is a very common name in India. Vipin means forest. Vraj Vipin is forest of Vrindavan. Vraj Vipin Chandra is the moon of the forest of Vrindavan. This is referring to Krishna. Krishna, who is Mad Isa Nathatve. Nath means the Lord. uh, the Lord. Mad Isha. Um, Mad Isha, the Lord. Okay, Isha means um, leader. Mad means mind. My. So Raghunath Das Goswami is telling the Lord of my leader. My leader is refers to Srimati Radharani. So Lord of, or the dearmost object of love of Srimati Radharani, which is referring to Krishna. So, to the moon of um, Vraja forest, who is the lord of my leader, Srimati Radharani. So, this is one. Then it says, um, Vraj Vaneshwarim. Ishwari is queen, and Vraj Vane is again the forest of Vrindavan. Vraj Vane Ishwarim is the queen of Vrindavan. Tanathatve again, um, 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 whose lord is Shri Krishna. So, in other words, my dear mind, please meditate on Krishna, who is the moon of Vrindavan, and Srimati Radharani, who is the queen of forest of Vrindavan. Um, and then Tad Atula Sakhitve tu Lalitam. Now we are going little deeper, um, and one is to um, Tulna. Tula is to compare. Tula. Atula is incomparable. To the incomparable Sakhi, incomparable friend of Srimati Radharani, who is Lalita. And we will discuss little bit about Lalita Devi today. Um, so please meditate on Lalita, and then Vishakham. Vishakham is Vishakha Devi. Vishakham Sikshali Vitarana Gurutve. Shikshali, who is the teacher, who is the instructor, Vitarana, who describes um, the um, um, de- description of love, who teaches the description of love between the divine couple, and who is a guru and teacher, gurutve. So one is the attribute attached to Lalita Devi is incomparable friend of Srimati Radharani, and we hear more about her. And another friend of Srimati Radharani, who is Vishakha, she is a teacher. She is a guru and a teacher who teaches us about the nature of um, the love of the divine couple. So please take shelter and meditate on Lalita and Vishakha. Now this is very important because not our temple, but many temples um, have the deities of Lalita and Vishakha. Um, Srimati Radharani has 8 principal friends. Among the 8, the 2 principal friends are Lalita and Vishakha. If you have seen Radha Madhav, then on the side of Krishna is Lalita, and on the side of Srimati Radharani is Vishakha. And we will see and we will hear little bit about, just a little bit about these two personalities, so we can have some idea about them. Then Priya Saro is lake, like we say Prem Sarovar and Sarovar Kunda, Kunda Saro, and Priya is referring to Radharani. So Priya Saro is referring to Radha Kund, Radha Kund, and Girindra, which is Giri Govardhan, Govardhan basically. Um, Tat Preksha Lalita Rati Datve. Um, Preksha is to see, and Rati is to develop love. So the attribute used for Priya Saro or Radha Kund and Giri Govardhan is just by seeing, just by just um, um, by serving them, one gets the sight and love of the divine couple. By meditating on Radha Kund and Giri Govardhan, they can give us the vision and they can give us the love for Shishi Radha and Krishna. So again, verse number 9, Raghunath Das Goswami describes six meditation on six objects. One is the moon of Vrindavan, Shri Krishna. Another is the queen of Vrindavan forest, which is Srimati Radharani. Then the incomparable friend Lalita Devi. Then the teacher and the guru of the object of divine love, um, Vishakha Devi, and Radha Kund and Giri Govardhan, by meditating on whom one can get the sight and love for Shishi Radha and Krishna. And I'll read it. O mind, meditate on Krishna, the moon of Vrindavan forest, as the Lord of my leader, Mad Isha Nathatve, as a Lord of my leader, Srimati Radharani. Meditate on Shri Radhika as his dearmost object of love. Meditate on Lalita as her incomparable friend, Atula. Meditate on Sri Vishaka as the foremost Guru, Gurutve, distributing the teachings of love, Shikshali, Vitarana, who describes the nature of love between the divine couple. And meditate on Radha Kund and Giri Govardhan as givers of the sight and love of Shishi Radha and Krishna. Okay, so Radha, Krishna, Lalita, Vishakha, Radha Kund and Govardhan. These are the six main objects of meditation. I will continue reading. Uh, the spiritual practitioner should always remember. This is by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. The spiritual practitioner should always remember the above six subject matters with great affection. And main discussion will be, we discussed about Govardhan, little bit about Govardhan, importance of Govardhan, and what happens by praying to Govardhan in last week. And today we discuss little bit about more detail about Radha Kund, Lalita and Vishaka. And we will also discuss little bit about Yamuna. So this is a Dham discussion today and these personalities. Just one or two slides about um, Krishna and Shrimati Radharani. Now this is Stavamala. It's one of the book written by Srila Rupa Goswami. He writes about description of Krishna that can help us meditate on Krishna. His complexion is like a new monsoon cloud. Now Krishna's complexion is, we know, bluish blackish like a cloud, um, but it is described that that bluish complexion does not exist in this material world. It's a transcendental complexion, which is unique only to Krishna. But when we say bluish blackish cloud, monsoon cloud is just to give us a reference. His ears are effulgent like champaka flowers. Champaka flowers are either golden or white, but they are very effulgent. So there is a description of Krishna's ears that they are very effulgent. The smile on his face is like a blooming lotus in a lake, very charming. His effulgence is like the color of gold. So Krishna has a effulgence. The effulgence is gold color. Although his complexion is bluish, um, his effulgence is golden. I mean, there is no comparison, no picture can describe Krishna's beauty, but this is the closest we can go as per Rupa Goswami. His head is decorated with the host of peacock feathers. Truly, I offer my obeisances to that young cowherd Krishna, who is the essence of everything in the world. There is one more verse on description of Krishna. O Lord of the distress, whether you inflict on me a strong punishment or your mercy, I have no other shelter but you. Indeed, the Chataka bird glorifies the cloud, whether the cloud punishes it with a strong thunderbolt or showers rainfall on it. Um, so there is a bird called Chataka bird. Um, Chataka bird drinks water that comes from the cloud. So Chataka bird is completely dependent upon cloud. In fact, it is described that Chataka bird, um, if it does not rain, Chatak out of thirst, Chataka bird can even give up his or her body, but yet still Chataka bird will not drink water from a well or from anywhere on planet Earth. Chataka bird drinks water only when it rains. So, in a way, Chataka bird describes its complete dependence upon the cloud. Yet, although completely dependent on cloud and having no other shelter, sometimes cloud showers thunderbolt and Chataka bird is smashed to the earth, becomes almost dead, and somehow Chataka bird gets up and still fly and glorifies the cloud and wait for cloud water. In other words, whether rain comes or thunderbolt comes, Chataka bird dedication towards the cloud is never wavering. Likewise, um, Rupa Goswami is praying, um, my Lord, whether you give me distress, um, by in whichever way, you give me distress, maybe by humbling me, um, or in whichever way you give me distress, or you show me your mercy, in whichever way you want to show your mercy, um, I have no other shelter other than you. Just like Chataka bird has no other shelter and remains dedicated even if thunderbolt coming from the cloud hits her, likewise Rupa Goswami is praying that my dedication to you is fixed even though I may receive distress like thunderbolt from you. And this is the reflection of pure devotion. When we are immature in bhakti, then when good comes, we are very grateful to Krishna. In fact, my spiritual master says, when good happens and if we are grateful to Krishna, and when bad happens and we kind of become angry with Krishna, then we have no gratitude at all. Then we are simply selfish, because if Krishna does what I want him to do, then I'm grateful to him. But I'm not grateful to him actually. I'm grateful because I get what I'm looking for. It's just my own selfishness. But when we are मारो भी राखो भी जो इच्छा तोहार, nitya dasa prati tuva adhikar, that I am your servant whether you maro bhi rakho bhi, you maintain me or you harm me. And this is the mood of the last verse of Shiksha Ashtakam prayer. Shiksha Ashtakam, from the third verse itself, Shiksha Ashtakam prayer goes very deeper, and maybe sometime we can do separately a seminar on Shiksha Ashtakam prayers. Maybe um, 6, 7, 8 discussions on just going deep into these 8 prayers. There is a lot of commentary. In fact, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also has a book on commentary on Shikshakashikam prayers. But the mood of the last prayer is, um, my Lord, you can trample upon me, or you can be merciful and you can show mercy upon me. You always remain my worshipable Lord independently. um, and that is the mood of pure devotees, and the epitome of that mood is Srimati Radharani and the Vrajvasis, who remain dedicated to Krishna whether Krishna handled them with care or whether Krishna left them, putting them in ocean of sorrow or grief. Their dedication to Krishna was never wavered. So that's the mood we should try to cultivate. Now this is one verse on, I mean there are many verses. This is all from commentary by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but just one verse by Raghunath Das Goswami. O Swamini, Radhika, um, a certain a certain maid servant belonging to you cry here every moment in deep love. I am expressing my feelings in the form of poetry as my heart burns with the excessive and constant fire of separation from you. So this is one of the verse, and from one of the poem by Raghunath Das Goswami, showing his deep longing, um, his deep desire um, to serve Srimati Radharani. His laudyum, I mean, see the words he's using. As my heart burns with the excessive and constant fire of separation from you. Now that's a stage. That's a very advanced stage, and it comes slowly when we get deeper sambandha gyan. Many times, if we lack sambandha gyan is my relationship with Krishna. If we lack that sambandha, that I am part and parcel um, of Krishna and my service to Krishna Srimati Radharani, if we miss out that, then we will become complacent in our spiritual practices, in our chanting, in our growth, in accepting a spiritual master, in everything. Then we will do our spiritual practice just because maybe it's right thing to do, or it's giving me some peace, or others are doing, so let me do it also. But these are all very external reasons. We can become deeper in our Krishna consciousness when we realize our Sambandha Gyan. The beginning of Sambandha Gyan is Jivera Sarup Hoy Krishna Nityadas. I am servant of Krishna and I belong to Krishna. And as we become deeper and deeper in our sadhana, the Sambandha Gyan becomes more and more realistic. Uh, and to the extent as our Sambandha or relationship becomes more and more realistic, the fire or the um, the separation to go deeper in our sambandha, to fully realize ourselves or to get entrance into that service um, increases, and it keeps on increasing when the laulyam, the greed, becomes too intense. That's when um, we get entrance from the path of sadhana to the path of attachment to Krishna, raga. And when it intensifies, uh, um, and when the laulyam or greed becomes too intense, um, some of the symptoms of intense greed is continuous chanting, more and more chanting, whole day, continuously offering prayers, doing lot of austerities, eating once a day very meagerly, completely giving up in our laulyam. When the greed rises to such an extent um, that we are at the verge of living or dying, um, um, at that laulyam only do we get access into more deeper um, um, Krishna consciousness. Laulyam ekam api mulyam. The price we need to pay to go deeper in our Krishna consciousness is greed. And greed, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, is not something that will manifest at the level of Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. It's a very advanced stage. So when this prayer by Raghunath Das Goswami on My Heart is Burning. This prayer, when we read, we interpret it as something normal, but these prayers are spoken with lot of agony, with lot of pain and lot of separation in the heart. That's when these are very advanced prayers. Um, and so that was meditation or deep meditation of Rup and Raghunath, whom we are following, on the moon of Vrindavan, and the queen Swamini, the queen of forest of Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani. And now little bit discussion about uh, Rupa Goswami, about Lalita Sakhi. Meditation on Sri Lalita as the matchless friend of Srimati Radharani. So as I mentioned, Srimati Radharani has two primary friends among eight. One is Lalita Devi, one is Vishakha Devi. They both have their own unique position. Srimati Radharani is eternally in spiritual world 14 years 8 months old. Lalita Devi is the eldest among all the eight Sakhis. She is 14 years 8 months and 27 days old. So she is 27 days elder to Srimati Radharani, and she is also the guru of Srimati Radharani. She teaches Srimati Radharani how to deal with Krishna. Radharani does not do anything without taking permission from Lalita Devi. Um, she is the elder. Everybody looks towards Lalita Devi for solution, and we can discuss more. Krishna willing. Vishakha Devi is 14 years 8 months old. She is of the same age as Srimati Radharani. Um, Lalita Devi and Vishakha Devi have different natures. So I don't know if you have heard the word left wing and right wing. Um, um, no need to go in detail, but the mood of Lalita Devi is um, anger, anger, and the mood of Vishakha Devi is mellow. Uh, um, Vishakha Devi, because she is of the same age as Radharani, um, she is very kind of confidential to Radharani. In a way, Radharani reveals her mind as an equal, and Lalita Devi is elderly, so Radharani sees Lalita Devi as superior, as elderly, so she has to abide. Lalita Devi increases the pleasure of Radha and Krishna by uh, simultaneously making them meet, at the same time making it difficult for Krishna to access her. And by posing that restriction, it enhances the love of Radha and Krishna. Um, um, so that's her mood. Um, and let's see from these prayers. Now, Rupa Goswami in spiritual word is Rupa Manjari. Rupa Manjari serves under Lalita Sakhi. Lalita Sakhi. There are many of our acharyas who serves under Lalita Sakhi. Another example is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He serves under Lalita Sakhi as Kamala Manjari. Another example is Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Thakur. He serves under Lalita Sakhi as Nayana Manjari. And Nayana Manjari serves under Kamala Manjari, just like Saraswati Thakur was serving under direction of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And they both serve under Rupa Manjari, just like they both were dedicated follower of um, um, Rupa Goswami. Rupa Manjari is the prime um, the prime leader of all the Manjaris under Lalita Sakhi. Just like uh, uh, Sanatan Goswami serves under Vishaka Sakhi. Vishaka Sakhi. Now they all are serving under these Sakhis because only through these Sakhis can the Manjari learn how to serve Shrimati Radharani. um, because Sakhis are expert in serving Srimati Radharani. Although their dedication is completely dedicated to Srimati Radharani, uh, they serve under these Sakhis um, um, to Srimati Radharani. Okay, now this is Rupa Goswami. He has written Lalita Ashtaka, 8 verses describing the glories of Lalita Devi. We are not going to discuss all 8 of them here, but just a few. Now, remember that Rupa Manjari is direct leader under Lalita Sakhi. So he is mentioning something very intimate about Lalita Devi because he's eternally serving Lalita Devi and and Srimati Radharani. Okay, I offer obeisances to Lalita Devi, who is extremely expert due to her excellent qualities. Her beautiful face defeats the brilliance of the rays of the full moon, and her eyes are ever restless like those of startled doe. Doe, um, deer's baby, the baby of a deer, doe. Doe eyes are the most beautiful eyes. So Rupa Goswami, very shy, small, and sweetest eyes doe has. So her um, her beautiful face defeats the brilliance of the rays of full moon. Full moon is so bright. She is actually golden complexion, Lalita Devi, just like Srimati Radharani, and her face is very very bright. Brilliance of um, the rays of the full moon is also defeated by the beauty and the moon effulgence of Lalita Devi. She is famous for her extraordinary proficiency in the art of dressing Radha, of whom she is an expert servant. She is an expert servant of Srimati Radharani, and she is extraordinarily expert and proficient in dressing Srimati Radharani. Um, and every day she assists with her assistants in dressing. Many of her assistants go to nearby kunjas and pick up flowers, and she decorates her in a most astonishing and beautiful way. She teaches Radha by saying, "Listen to the words of wisdom, O Radhe Kalankini, the girl who has spoiled her reputation." Now, this is very intimate because she is elder to Radharani. She sometimes scolds Radharani. So she is telling, "Girl who has spoiled her reputation, never take a subordinate position and show a liberal heart to that great cheater Krishna. Always dominate him in all ways." So she is very dominating by nature, domineering by nature, and she tells Srimati Radharani, "Why you should not do whatever he says. He will trick you, and you will be tricked. So your reputation will be spoiled. Just do as I say." So that is the position of Radharani. In fact, there is one particular pastime where Krishna was very eager to meet Srimati Radharani, and um, Lalita Devi told her, um, "Don't budge whatever he says, and maintain distance." And Krishna begged, "Why you are angry?" And she didn't say anything, although Radharani is very soft hearted. um, so she wanted to make a tie up with Krishna, but Lalita Sakhi told her, "No, don't give up, otherwise you lose your value." So that's how she, in a way, dominates. Okay, okay. While she hears even a few crafty, flirtatious words from Krishna to Radha, she becomes furious, and with reddish eyes speaks clever words that immediately embarrass Krishna. So that's her. She offers transcendental restriction for Krishna uh, to speak with Radharani, and through that um, harsh words, it increases pleasure of Krishna and Srimati Radharani, Sambhog and Vipralambha. She increases Vipralambha through her words. Um, uh, when Vipralambha is separation. When separation is long, that increases the pleasure of Sambhog or unity millions of times, and that's how she's expert in increasing the pleasure um, of the divine couple, and that's why she is dear most to Radha and Krishna. um, um, okay. Various parental affections of the queen of cowherds, Yashoda, reside in her. She is the guru of all her friends. She is the eldest among all eight, Lalita Sakhi. She is the guru of all her friends in the arts of friendship, in a way that everybody listens to her. She is like the leader of the group in a way. Um, she considers Radha and Balram's younger brother Krishna as non-different from her own life. She acts with little anger. At the same time, when they are separate, she makes all arrangements for them to meet. So she perfectly knows how to give pleasure, how to increase the pleasure of the divine couple at every instance. And Rupa Goswami is telling that Radha and Krishna are non different from her own life. She is 100% dedicated to give pleasure to the divine couple, and she has no other motive. 100%. She always assists Radharani in her service to Krishna. Always. In fact, Radharani moved to Yavat. Uh, Lalita Devi also moved to Yavat. They both live in neighboring homes, and when Radharani comes in the morning to cook for Krishna, Lalita comes with her, and Vishakha comes with her. They both were closest, dearest friend of Srimati Radharani uh, in Varsana. Srimati Radharani used to stay in Varsana. Lalita Devi used to stay in Uchagaon. If you go, you can go to Uchagaon, which is the residence of Lalita Devi. And Vishakha Devi would live probably a mile or two at the bottom of Varsana is the hometown of Vishakha Devi. And after they grew up around 9.5, 10 years old, they all were not going in detail, but they all three moved to Yavat in different homes. And they are inseparable friends of Srimati Radharani. Right from their childhood, when they were 1 year old, 2 year old, throughout they are serving Srimati Radharani till eternity, and on this earthly pastime till they all disappear to Golok Vrindavan, they are always with Srimati Radharani. Not only both of them, all eight of them, but these two are major, and they both have different mood how they serve, and the combination of these two moods is a perfect combination for the divine couple to increase their happiness a millions and million folds by the assistance of these two. It is also described that in order to get access to love for the divine couple, one has to go through Lalita and Vishakha. And as one goes deeper, um, deeper, one starts understanding the value of Lalita and Vishakha, and they become one's um, object of prayers, so that one can get access to the divine couple. Something like that. In Bhauma Leela, Lalita Devi appearance day is one day before Radharani, but eternally she is 27 days elder. Um, Something more, when she sees any young maiden anywhere in Vraja, she immediately considers whether that maiden, that girl, is favorable to Vrishabhanu's daughter Radha. If so, Lalita fulfills all of that maiden's desire and thus fills her with gratitude. So, Lalita Devi is always looking forward in Vraja and all over the creation who can become and who is willing to serve Srimati Radharani. And if anybody is willing to serve the daughter of Vrishabhanu, then she fulfills all her desires and fills that maiden heart with gratitude, and eventually bring her close to dedicate her life to Vrishabhanu's daughter. In Vraja also she does this, And this is much more um, uh, in depth, but we can understand that Lalita Devi sent Rupa Manjari as Rupa Goswami to attract everyone's heart towards Vrishabhanu's daughter. And to fulfill the mission of Lalita Devi, Rupa Manjari, Rupa Goswami wrote books on how to get access to lotus feet of Vrishabhanu's daughter. That's her service in Golok Vrindavan, in Bhoma Vrindavan, and we are followers of Rup and Raghunath. And that's what Mahaprabhu came to give us, is attraction to the service to the lotus feet of Vrishabhanu's daughter. He is actually Srimati Radharani. The mood is, he is Krishna in her mood. Came to give that mood to everyone, and through Rupa Goswami, he asked him to write books. He gave him what mood, and we are followers of Rupa Goswami, and we recently read Nectar of Devotion. If you read that in detail, you will understand the mood of Rupa Goswami more, and this thing will become more clear. So Rupa Goswami is also serving Lalita Devi to fulfill her mission, which is have everyone take shelter of the lotus feet of the daughter of Vrishabhanu. She gives priority to the great and colorful love sports of Sri Radha and the Prince of Braja Krishna over all other festivals. She is the leader of the most prominent, loving, and friendly um, young girls of Gokula. So she is the leader, as we discussed, over all other, and her priority is how to give pleasure to the divine couple over all other festivals. Like once there was a festival of Janmashtami. We are talking about Janmashtami during Krishna's presence, and Krishna was in Nandagaon, and all the Vrajvasis came. Vrishabhanu also came, and Vrishabhanu daughter also came, and Sri Dama, Ananga Manjari, and everybody gathered in Nandagaon, and it was Krishna's appearance day, and um, um, Lalita Devi made arrangement for Vrishabhanu's daughter to wish Krishna in a way that nobody thinks anything, in a way. So she's expert in increasing the joy and uniting, and when they unite, in creating some kind of Vipralambha. So she is most expert in giving them the greatest joy. Um, and she is very eager to help those who want to serve the daughter of Vrishabhanu. She is very eager. And that's where Raghunath Das Goswami is giving us this secret, is that Lalita Devi is the incomparable friend. There is nobody like her. Incomparable friend of the divine couple. And if you pray to her, meditate, um, she will fulfill all your desires. Um, so that's the importance of Lalita Devi. Okay, and Lalita Devi came in Mahaprabhu's Leela as Sarup Damodar Goswami. Sarup Damodar Goswami was a sannyasi. He was the personal servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And just like Lalita Devi always protects Vrishabhanu's daughter, Sarup Damodar Goswami always protected Lord Chaitanya. Just like Lalita Devi is always with Srimati Radharani, Sarup Damodar never left Lord Chaitanya alone. Wherever Mahaprabhu somehow or other he would stay behind as a personal servant. In fact, if anybody write any books, then Sarup Damodar, the book has to be read first by Sarup Damodar Goswami, and if Sarup Damodar Goswami approves it, only then it will be read by Lord Chaitanya. Sarup Damodar Goswami understood the mood of Lord Chaitanya every moment. And seeing the mood of Lord Chaitanya, Sarup Damodar Goswami would recite those compositions. Because Mahaprabhu's mood sometimes was in love, sometimes in anger, sometimes in separation, sometimes in sambhog, different time, different moods. And Sarup Damodar Goswami, just like Rupa Goswami, knew the heart of Lord Chaitanya, and he would compose such verses, and he would increase the pleasure of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And similar things, similar services is performed by Lalita Devi to Vrishabhanu's daughter. And we will discuss more about Sarup Damodar Goswami in our Gaur Katha. Okay, does anyone has any question on this topic before we go to Vishaka Devi? Okay, um, okay. Now meditate on Shri Vishaka as one's instructing teacher. As I said, Vishaka Devi is very mellow, and um, Radharani reveals, Radharani feels very comfortable. Someone is like senior and someone is like equal. So she's very, Vishaka Devi is very confidential to Srimati Radharani. Anything that goes in the mind of Srimati Radharani, she reveals to Vishaka Devi. They are like they are exactly same age, 14 years and 8 months, and on this planet. Um, okay, let's read this. This is Yamuna Ashtaka. We offer prayers to the daughter of Surya, the sun god, the Yamuna Devi, where Lord Krishna sports with delight in her waters, and whose spiritual body is Vishaka. So, Yamuna is an expansion of Vishaka Devi, the river Yamuna. Kalindi. Kalindi Rakule Keli. Um, all, I mean, just by um, so sun god has a son and a daughter. The the son of sun god is Yamraj, and the daughter of sun god is uh, Yamuna. And Yamuna is, her spiritual form is Vishaka. She comes from Vishaka. Now see, everything in spiritual world comes from Krishna, Shrimati Radharani, or some of their associates. Everything. So Yamuna has her expansion there. Ganga also comes from Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. And Ganga and Yamuna, they flow in higher planetary system, middle planetary system, lower planetary system, purifying all the planetary system. And it is described that anybody who sees Yamuna once becomes freed from his her sin, and Yamraj says, well, this person has even seen Yamuna. So because Yamraj loves Yamuna as a little sister, Yamraj doesn't call them. So that's the benefit of uh, Yamuna. Yamuna is actually um, more dear for devotees who are cultivating the mood of Vraja, Vrindavan. Although Ganga and Yamuna are both like that, Yamuna becomes even more dearer to devotees of Vrindavan. Ultimately, you don't have to. Okay. Um, um, okay. And Yamuna is very dear to devotees. Um, Yamuna, Krishna used to bathe in Yamuna every day. he used to have many sporting pastimes in Yamuna. Yamuna is filled with the dust of lotus feet of Krishna, lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, lotus feet of Astasakis, lotus feet of all the cows, lotus feet of dust from the lotus feet of all the gopas. So Yamuna still carries that with her. Um, um, and this is, I think, yeah. Oh, beautiful Vishakha. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his commentary write the entire Yamuna Ashtaka, glories of Yamuna Devi. But I think we have two or three verses. Let's see. Oh, beautiful Vishakha, I shall not leave your association for even a moment. Um, this is Raghunath Das Goswami telling to Vishakha Devi that I shall not leave your association even for a moment. Actually, Raghunath Das Goswami also serves under Vishakha Devi, Vishakha Sakhi. So he's telling, I shall not leave your association even for a moment. You are the same age as Sri Radha, and for this reason you are the abode of her confidential secrets. Vishakha Devi is so dear to Sri Radha that she reveals all her secrets to Vishakha Devi. Um, and Raghunath Das Goswami is telling, I shall not leave your association even for a moment. They both are extremely dear. They both go to Nandagaon, they both come back afternoon, evening. They are always assisting um, Vrishabhanu's daughter in her pastimes. O goddess, showing me the form of my divine goddess Radha, please save the life of a person like me who is dying in separation. Again, um, agony and lobha and greed in advanced stage of devotion, prayed by Raghunath Das Goswami. Okay, now again, Rupa Goswami also wrote um, eight prayers glorifying Yamuna, and when we glorify Yamuna, we glorify Vishakha because they are one and the same. Um, May Shri Yamuna, the daughter of the lotus friendly sun god, always purify me. Um, She saves one from entering the abode of her brother Yamaraj, who punishes the sinful after death. So she saves one. She allows sinners who may she allows sinners who merely see her to cross over the ocean of sin. Just by seeing Yamuna, one don't have to see Yamaraj because she is very dear to Yamaraj. Now this is earthly pastime. In earthly pastime, she is daughter of sun god, just like Krishna is daughter of Vasudeva and Devaki, and etc. Um, but she originally, okay. Uh, May Shri Yamuna, the daughter of the lotus-friendly sun god, always purify me. She greatly enhances the flood of internal loving devotion to Krishna. She greatly enhances the flood of internal loving devotion to Krishna, the son of Nanda, and repeatedly bestows auspiciousness on those who come in contact with her river banks. So she enhances um, pleasure of Krishna's pastimes. In fact, we see the story when Krishna told Radharani it's time to go to earthly planet. Radharani said, I cannot go. I cannot go without Yamuna. I cannot go without Govardhan. Without Yamuna and Govardhan, um, I don't feel like home. Um, and same thing happened when Radharani and all the gopis came to Radharani and all the gopis, and she was very pleased to see Krishna, but then she said, um, I am the same Radharani, you are the same Krishna, but there is no Vrindavan, there is no Yamuna, and there is no Govardhan. So I don't feel like the same. So this Yamuna and Govardhan are very, very dear to devotees who desire to reside in Vrindavan. And that's why Raghunath Das Goswami has picked up from all six things to develop deep affection and love for. Srimati Radharani, Krishna, Lalita, Vishakha, Govardhan and Radhakund. And Vishakha Devi includes Yamuna Devi. So these are the objects of affection meditation. She enhances, floods Krishna and his associates with divine pleasure by her service. When Krishna comes in contact, she immediately embraces the lotus feet of Krishna through her waves. Um, she is very eager. Um, and repeatedly bestows auspiciousness on those who come in contact with her river banks. I remember last time when we when we went to Yamuna, it was the last day, and I had to leave Vrindavan within an hour or two, and immediately we rushed, and I dipped in Yamuna and then came back and started back on my journey uh, to Mayapur. Um, so whenever we go, we can spend some time near Yamuna, banks of Yamuna, and we can offer prayers to Yamuna, who is actually Vishakha Devi, who is dear most associate of Vishabhanu's daughter. So very very nice. Um, the Yamuna river has swans and lotuses in her water, cows and kadamba trees on her banks, and demigods in the sky praying her. You can see some demigods flying above. So very exalted position of Yamuna Devi. Um, she increases the beauty of Rag Bhakti for the Vaishnavas devoted to divine love prema. Um, without Yamuna, devotees who are on spontaneous platform serving Krishna, they don't feel much connection. So she increases the beauty of the path of rag. The path of spontaneous devotion to Krishna becomes extremely pleasing because of her presence. Without Yamuna, even Vrindavan looks not so fulfilling. So she is like, you know, बोलते हैं चार चांद लगा देना. She is like that. Her presence. That's Vishakha's service to Braja and the divine couple. Um, she increases the beauty of Rag Bhakti for the Vaishnavas devoted to divine love. She is very delighted by the association of the devotees of Nanda's son. And Vishakha Devi, although very very dear to um, 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 uh, Srimati Radharani, she is also very delighted in association of Krishna. She is very dear to Krishna also, and there are many sweet pastimes, and by hearing them, our heart becomes flooded with love for divine couple, and we will see in the last verse that hearing Krishna Katha, worshipping Govardhan, worshipping the deities of Radha Krishna, the chanting of the holy names um, are very very important anga to develop spontaneous love for the divine couple. Um, and this is Ramananda Roy, um, who is Vishakha Devi. He appeared in God Leela as Ramananda Roy, and we will discuss in detail about Ramananda Roy in Gaur Katha. This comes in Madhya Leela, where Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas, when he went to South India tour, Mahaprabhu came to Andhra Pradesh in a place called what's the name of that place? Rajmandari. Rajmandari. I mean, I've never been there, but this is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Those who are from Andhra may relate to it. But Saraswati Thakur says the Rajmandari, that is the current location, is not the Rajmandari, which was the place where Mahaprabhu met Ramananda Roy 500 years back. And he gives a detailed description of what was Rajmundry at that point of time. But in that area of Rajmundry, when Mahaprabhu was going all the way South India, on the way towards before Mahaprabhu went to Sri Rangam, he went through Rajmundry, and there Mahaprabhu met Ramananda Roy. In fact, before Mahaprabhu left for South India tour, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told Lord Chaitanya, "You must meet this devotee Ramananda Roy." And there is lot of discussion when Mahaprabhu met Ramananda Roy, and it was Ramananda Roy um, who was empowered by Lord Chaitanya because he is Vishakha Sakhi. He revealed the divine love of Radha and Krishna to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he gave unlimited ecstasy to Lord Chaitanya because Lord Chaitanya is in the mood of Radharani, and Ramananda Roy is Vishakha Sakhi. So he gave instruction because he teaches Radharani how to increase love between both of them. That's why Raghunath Das Goswami calls her Gurutve, Shikshali, Shiksha, and that's what Mahaprabhu told. Otherwise, see, when we don't relate God Leela to Krishna Leela, we may think, how come this man tell Mahaprabhu about divine nature of divine love between the divine couple? But that's because everything that happened in Gaur Katha is manifestation of Krishna Katha. So they both can be understood together, like Sarup Damodar Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, and these are all, they're all connected to Krishna Katha, and very deep conversation. In fact, it is so deep that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur told all his disciples that you can read Chaitanya Charitamrita, but don't read Ramananda Roy Samvad because it is so deep. There are some sections like this which make Chaitanya Charitamrita inaccessible, because just like in Krishna Katha 10th canto there is Rasa Panchadhyay from 27 to 32. Um, that is Raslila description of Krishna, which is um, not everybody should read it, and there is a qualification required. Likewise, Ramananda Roy Samvad is like that. And because he is Vishakha Sakhi, he revealed that nature of divine love of the divine couple to Lord Chaitanya. And that is this. And we will discuss about it when we discuss Madhya Leela. Um, and I believe, is this the last slide? No. Now, Govardhan is the one who gives access to Ragmarg. We discussed this last week. Um, when we worship Govardhan inspires us to follow a particular resident of Vrindavan, and who can take us to the lotus feet of Vishabhanu's daughter. O King of Mountain Govardhan, this is Raghunath Das Goswami. This I have kept only one verse here because we already discussed about Giriraj, and we will discuss a lot more about glories of Giriraj, service of Giriraj in in Govardhan Leela, which we may discuss once we approach the month of Kartik in couple of months. O king of mountains, Govardhan, the moon-faced Sri Radha spoke a beautiful verse proclaiming you to be the best of all devotees. Srimati Radharani tells all the Sakhis that Giriraj is Haridas Varya. He is most expert in serving Krishna. He is the Varya, best. He is best among Haridas, the servants of Hari. He is best of his devotees. And very beautiful conversation there. The confidential Vedas clearly glorify you as the Tilak decorating the land of Vraja. Kindly grant me residence near you. So, Raghunath Das Goswami is praying to live eternally near at the bank of Giri Govardhan. Um, Now, this is the last part of our discussion. Probably we should be able to finish in next 5 minutes, which is Radha Kund. There is words cannot describe the glories of Radha Kund. Radha Kund is the giver of the vision and love of the divine couple. Okay, this is uh, taken from Nectar of Instruction, verse 11. Um, some of you may have read it, but reading it again and again will make us understand the value um, and the potency of this place. If you go to Vrindavan, few places you should never miss. One is Barsana, one is Radhakund, one is Govardhan. These places we must go. Most prominent places in Braja. This lake is so exalted that it belongs to Srimati Radharani. Um, this is personal lake of Srimati Radharani. Her lake Sri Radha Kund is also described by great sages as the lake that is as dear to Krishna as Radha herself. Indeed, Krishna's love for Radha Kund and Srimati Radharani is the same in all respects. Just like Radharani is very dear to Krishna, likewise her lake Radha Kund is dear to Krishna. There is no comparison of Krishna's love for Radharani. Likewise, there is no comparison of Krishna's love for Radha Kund. It is described that same amount of love. So we cannot even imagine the amount of the potency that Radha Kund carries. Radha Kund is described as the liquid form of Radha and Krishna. Liquid form of Radha and Krishna. And this is something from Srila Prabhupada, taken from Nectar of Instruction, verse 11, just because there are unlimited glories of Radha Kund. Radha Kund is very rarely attained, even by great personalities fully engaged in devotional service, not to speak of ordinary devotees who are only engaged in practice of Vaidhi Bhakti. So Srila Prabhupada is telling just by Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, there is no question of attaining Radha Kund, and he is telling it is very rarely attained. Even Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentions in Prabhupada writes that in Nectar of Instruction verse 11, even Narada and the Kumara, Sanat Kumar, are also deprived of bathing in Radha Kund. It is so exalted, even um, um, they find it extremely rare and difficult to take bath. And that's where Prabhupada says here, even great personalities fully engage in devotional service, fully engaged in Raganuga, fully engaged in spontaneous loving service to divine couple, fully pure at heart, even they find it, even it's very rare, Radha Kund is very rarely attained by them. Um, and then Prabhupada said not to speak of ordinary devotees who are engaged in the practice of Vaidhi Bhakti. We cannot imagine the glories of Radha Kund. It is beyond our intellect, mind, and anything else to understand the glories of bathing in Radha Kund once. Because, I mean, imagine how advanced is the path of Raganuga. Prabhupada is telling even they find it extremely rare to attain Radha Kund. Um, Sarsai Thakur is telling even Narad Muni and Sanat Kumar are finding it extremely rare to achieve Radha Kund, to attain Radha Kund. Who are Vedi Sadhana Bhaktas? So that is the glory of Radha Kund. It is stated that a devotee will at once develop pure love of Krishna in the wake of the gopis if he once takes a bath in Radha Kund. Wow, can you believe this? If somebody once takes a bath in Radha Kund, they will develop pure love of Krishna in the wake of the gopis. That's like um, uh, that's Raganuga Bhakti. Even once one will all arrangements will be made for one to follow in the wake of the gopis. So this is all from the purport in Nectar of Instruction verse 11, which we have read, but we can develop a deeper understanding of it now because after NOI we studied Nectar of Devotion. So there we can have more deeper understanding of following in the wake of the gopis, what that means. And that is attained and Krishna Prema is attained by once taking bath in Radha Kund. This is the most important item in execution of devotional service. So this Prabhupada telling is that bathing in Radha Kund is the most important item in the execution of devotional service. Radha Kund has to be approached with great awe and respect. This is it is described that every day Radha and Krishna come to take bath in Radha Kund. Liquid form of their own two personalities is manifested in form of Radha Kund. Cannot one bath in Radha Kund will give us pure love for Krishna and um, um, in the wake and make us follow in the wake of the gopis of Vrindavan. I think this is the last verse. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur writes, see, Saraswati Thakur, how he is glorifying, even Narad and Sanatan, how Srila Prabhupada is glorifying Radha Kund, how Raghunath Das Goswami is glorifying Radha Kund, how Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Here Bhakti Vinod Thakur writes, this is Srila Prabhupada commentary. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur writes in this connection, uh, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in this connection that Sri Radha Kund is the most select place for those interested in advancing their devotional service in the wake of the Sakhis and confidential serving maid Manjaris of Srimati Radharani. So this Bhaktivinoda Thakur commentary on Radha Kund, it is the most select place um, for those who are interested in advancing their devotional service in Ujjvala Premamrita Rasa, in the Shringar Rasa. This is the most select place, and Radha Kund will fulfill all the desires. So, no, no words to glorify this most sacred of the sacred places, Sri Radha Kund. Uh, Devotees worship Sri Radha Kund with all their hearts, with all their hearts. Uh, and we have, I mean, somehow I always used to chant lot of extra rounds on the day of appearance day of Radha Kund. That is one of the most auspicious day in a year for devotees following Gaj Bhakti. And that comes um, sixth day uh, of sixth or seventh day of the start of Kartik Purnima. So that will be 6th of November. 6th of November. Because 31st October is the beginning of is the Sharad Purnima, beginning of uh, Kartik Mas. It's called Bahula Ashtami, and maybe we can discuss more uh, during that time. Okay, so that's all we have for today. Uh, if anybody wants to ask anything, have a discussion on anything, we can do it now.
But did you get the question?
Oh, Prabhu, your voice is very slow. Can you say it little louder?
But we are told that we shouldn't take bath in the Radha Kund.
We are told not to take bath in Radhakund?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Prabhu. I mean, um, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada said taking 3 drops of water on our head is equivalent to taking a bath. Um, at the same time, at a right time in future, we may be able to take bath in Radhakund. So far I have not taken bath in Radhakund because I'm not there yet. I have a long way to go. Um, um, but we can worship Radhakund, um, um, like Dandvat Parikrama that we tried, something in some other ways. That's the only place we worshipped. Um, I mean, um, I had 4 days in Vrindavan, and whole day was only for Radhakund. Entire kind of time went in. Um, we did the whole Govardhan Parikrama, but we spent 5 hours only in Radhakund. It's just our way of expressing our gratitude, our worship, our prayers to um, our way to express the greatness of this place, um, our action to show our affection towards this place in a small way. Does it answer, Prabhu?
Yes.
Okay. Some of you have been to Radhakund, I know. I know Samir Prabhu, Harshini Mataji went there. I know Sudhir Prabhu went there. I know Mahipal Prabhu, Shushmita Mataji went there. And um, I don't know about who else went there. Highly encouraged to go and absorb yourself. In fact, I was thinking past 2-3 days, this is the best time to go to Vrindavan because everything is online. So online things continue and just go to Govardhan and Vrindavan. And Vrindavan, we go to Vrindavan because we want to progress. The association of Dham, these places are supremely potent. We go to offer prayers and awaken that spontaneous devotion. We go with those prayers, hoping someday I will become the recipient of Lord's mercy. Anything else?
No.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you all very much. My obeisances to all of you. Vancha kalpatarubhesha kripa sindhubhe evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.